Hello, my name is Holly. Welcome to the Murder She Shed. This is the place we have true crime, usually in my she shed. But as I told you guys, I am in Canada and having a great time. But I had a minute and thought I would record this true crime story for you guys. And I have one of the weirdest true crime stories I've ever told. And it's actually, disturbing. So on this case, I must give a warning. It is filled with incest and SA. It is not for the faint of stomach. Yes, I said stomach. Some of the most graphic case I've ever discussed on my channel. So viewer discretion is advised. This case involves the parents of 14 children who were related to each other. Well, I'm going to try to use a chart with pictures in order not to get you confused, but when everyone is sleeping with everyone and keeping it all in the family, it can get confusing, and it does. So this is the story of the Inbred family of Australia. But first, before we begin, can you hit that like and subscribe for unique crime right from my channel, Murder She Shed. Here we go. This story begins with a man named Tim Coe. Tim is the father of the world's most inbred family. Tim migrated from New Zealand with his wife in the 1970s and moved between South Australia, Western Australia, and Victoria. Usually living in remote rural communities, he fathered 6 children: Rhonda, Charlie, Cherry, Betty, Frank, Paula, and Martha. None of their actual names are given. Basically, the government agency give them pseudonyms because they wanted to keep their identities private. Tim's wife, June, was a product of a brother and sister. Basically, her mom and dad were brother and sister, so it didn't take much for Tim to brainwash June into having sex with his own children because she was just born into this type of behavior. She thought it was normal, I guess. Tim Coe began raping his older daughter, Betty, when she was only 12. Betty had her father's child when she was 18 years old, but she only had one child by her father. The rest were from her brother. So here's the chart of the family. Tim would also RAP his younger daughter, Martha, which I'm showing you. I showed you Betty, showed you Martha. And Martha had the most children by her father. She had 4 total. But Martha also had children by her 2 brothers. So basically, the ones outlined in beige in this chart are from the products of the brothers and sisters having relations. And the others are from the father-daughter relationship. I told you it's confusing, but guys, it's really not that important because really we're just going to discuss the disturbing facts of this story. And really, who belongs to who is not the most important factor. So Betty, the oldest daughter of Tim, was having a relationship with her son, Bobby, as well. This was passed down 4 generations. Rhonda, Tim's other daughter, also had children by Tim. Tim even RAP'd her daughter. So he was not only the grandfather, but he's also the father of some of her kids. I told you it's confusing. The family would often move from place to place to keep people from figuring out what was going on. June, the mother and wife of Tim, died in 2001, and Tim Coe died in 2009. So Betty, being the oldest sibling, took Tim's spot as head of the family. She became the new head. Betty bought land after her parents passed in New South Wales. Betty and her younger brother, Charlie, had 12 children together. Betty encouraged the children to have sex with each other. The little girls would often hide because they were so scared that their brothers or cousins would RAP them. I'm talking children as young as 5 years old, guys. Little girls. Some of the children did get to attend school, very few of them. But during one of these attendances, Tammy told a classmate, "My sister is pregnant and we don't know which of my brothers is the father." This classmate would then tell a teacher, and guess what? Authorities located their land and showed up to pay them a visit. And the family had no access to electricity or sewage. The living quarters comprised of 3 old caravans, 2 sheds, and 2 tents. And the pictures I am putting up are actually after they cleaned the facilities up, because they had come out there and told them they had to get it cleaned up or they were going to lose their children, but they ended up losing their children anyway because of the abuse allegations. Caravan number 1 had mud, dirt, rubbish, and cigarette butts on the floor, dirty cooking facilities, dirty children's beds, and an unsafe gas barbecue used for heating. The second caravan had dirt on all surface, including the stove and food prep areas, plus 2 broken windows deemed hazardous to children. Exposed electricity wires and bags of rubbish lay near one caravan's entrance. The larger shed had a dirty stove and a fridge with rotten vegetables and not much else to eat. The caseworkers, like I said, still decided on taking the children away because of the abuse. Caseworkers observed the children were dirty, wore dirty clothes, and were unable to make eye contact. The children used the bush for a toilet and a tub of water to hand wash, and most of them didn't even know what toilet paper was and never took a bath. Gross. Most of the children were underweight and had fungal infection. A lot of the children were partially blind, and their speech was not understandable. Basically, some of them would even grunt as a form of communication. They also had gum disease and rotting teeth. Most of the children only knew how to eat with their fingers. They never used utensils. They would also soil their cots and have buckets full of feces and urine beside their cots, full of stuff. They had developmental delays, cognitive impairments, and physical deformities associated with inbreeding, such as low slung ears and misaligned facial features. The caseworkers took the children away from the Colts and attempted to foster them out. It's a lot of trouble when they did. Several of the children were abusive to caseworkers. One child threatened to cut off the caseworker's fingers. One child would attempt to kiss her male foster parent on the mouth and was seen playing with herself in the shower and on the toilet multiple times. A young girl. She stated her brother had showed her how to do that. 2 of the Colt boys had actually tied up one of the foster parents' grandchild. Yeah. When they were at the incest farm, Betty would make sure when one of the girls did become pregnant from this, they could not see a doctor in case someone found out what was happening. A number of miscarriages took place on this farm. Like I said, Betty would encourage SREE among all family members. Several of the boys reportedly would mutilate the genitals of small animals like dogs and cats. They mutilate them with sticks. Yes, sticks. Girls as young as 5 were RAP'd by their cousins, uncles, aunts. Basically, everybody had sex with everybody. That includes like dads and sons, and even moms and daughters and sons. It was crazy. Deep, guys. I warned y'all. That's all I can say. Betty believed basically it should be free love among the family. I actually found this Facebook post that she posted on her Facebook. She's with her sisters, and she superimposed love makes a family on this picture. I was basically able to find the family on Facebook, and I do know their true names. But I'm not going to give that out on my channel. I don't feel like that's right of me. But it's a simple search to find this out. I also found one of these relatives had put this text on their Facebook. I know, disgusting. One girl stated she had been tied to a tree and abused by the boys. Kimberly, 13, spoke of committing sex acts with her 9-year-old Uncle Dwayne, while her Aunt Carmen just watched. She was only 8. She had also slept with her cousin Joe and regularly performed ORAL on another of her 12-year-old uncles, Brian. The caretakers of Kimberly and Carmen observed Kimberly place her hand inside Carmen's skirt. They were both girls. They reported that Carmen had told them that she had been touching Kimberly's girl. That is her private area, and that Kimberly said she had touched Carmen's girl. Another girl named Nadia also told the caseworkers she had watched Charlie Colt and her mother, Martha, having sex in the tent. Martha and Charlie were brother and sisters, and they are adults, and they are the mom and dad for some of the kids. Ruth and Nadia disclosed to their caretakers that Albert, Jed, and Carl used to show them books with pictures of naked men and women, that they used to touch their breasts, the girls' breasts, and then Albert used to perform acts on them. Nadia told her caretakers that her mother and father took photos of her private area. Nadia also said Charlie, who is her uncle, he's the grown-up and he's also her father, would insert sticks into her. I'm not kidding you. A grown man inserted sticks and you know what else. Nadia said she did not like what her brothers did to her, including touching her chest and bottom, putting a stick in both her front and back privates. She told her mother, Martha Cope. Charlie Cope then smacked the boys with the big belt, even though Charlie was guilty of the same behavior. They learned it from him. Then Carmen was on a school holiday with her group at school, I guess, when she was caught in the shower with a boy. And the boy said she kept asking me to pull down her pants and then tried pulling down his pants. I bet his parents were a little upset about that. Kimberly said that when she had told her mother about these incidents with her uncles, she said my mom got angry with me and told me not to do it again because I was just a little girl and that it was wrong and it was my fault. It's the little girl's fault, according to her mother. Yeah. Dwayne told his caretakers that he watched his brothers and cousins playing with themselves using a Rudy book, I guess a dirty book, and that he had sex with an 8-year-old girl in the toilets behind a primary school. Petra, whose mom is Betty and Tim Colt, Tim was her father. She came forward in 2013 before the children were even taken away and confessed to authorities that her Uncle Frank had RAP'd her. She said he was holding her down. She said, while he was taking my clothes off, I was fighting against him. Tried to fight him off. He wouldn't listen. I was kicking him, punching him, pulling his hair. She also discussed how she was RAP'd by her uncle and half-brother Roderick. Petra had a fight with Betty, went for a walk, and was dragged by Roderick into his car and forcibly taken advantage of as she fought him off. He then threw her in her clothes out of his vehicle and called her an ungrateful bitch and a pig. Billy and his older brother Bobby were the subjects of an aborted kidnapping attempt from caretakers by their mother Betty, who had been arrested and was in prison at the time. She was calling from the jail cell to talk to Bobby. She said she was going to take them from care off to South Australia. In one conversation, Betty told Bobby his voice is sexy and that she couldn't wait to be reunited with him and Billy. She told Bobby that the boys could be restored to her care when they turned 16 rather than 18. Keep in mind, this is her own son she is talking to, calling his voice sexy. Ugh. Some of the family served prison time, but due to 4 generations of abuse, it was said those individuals were victims as well, and they basically just thought this was normal behavior. So they were victims too. Tim died at the age of 66. He thought he had taken his secret to his grave. But for a child's comment in a playground, vigilant welfare authorities, and the determinations of a skillful child abuse squad detectives, the INCEST cult might still be going on the hills. Thank God it was caught, because it is highly disturbing, and it's actually a quite sad case. And if you're still listening to this, you're one tough cookie and should definitely subscribe to my channel, because not everybody could have got through that. That is a horrible case, and oh yeah, just disgusting. Well, guys, I'm going to go enjoy my time in Canada. I hope y'all have a blessed rest of the week. I do love y'all. I thank y'all for being such great subscribers and always giving me such great comments. I love you guys, and bye.